All right, we are live. We're ready to go here, so let's call this meeting to order. Good evening. I'll call the meeting of the City Council of the City of Lenoir to order for Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. We thank you for being with us this evening. As normally, we do have people here in the council chambers, and we have people that are with us on virtual call. So I'm going to call at this point, before we get started, I'm going to call the roll, make sure we know who is with us. We'll start out with those here in the room with us, and I'll start with Councilmember Jonathan Beal is here. Councilmember Ike Perkins is here. Mayor Joe Gibbons is here. Councilmember Ben Willis is here, and Councilmember David Stevens is here in the room. Also, City Manager Scott Hildebrand is with us, and our Communications Director Joshua Harris is here, and our Chief of Police Brent Phelps is with us this evening. So thank you for being here. We have some other guests with us that will be speaking tonight, and we'll introduce them in a few minutes. Go ahead now down the those on our Zoom call with us. Mayor Pro Tem Chrissy Thomas.
I'm here.
Thank you. Councilmember Todd Perdue.
I'm here.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Ralph Presswood.
I'm here, sir.
Thank you. Our City Attorney TJ Rohr.
I'm here.
Thank you. Our City Clerk Shirley Cannon. Okay. Finance Director Donna Bean.
Here.
Thank you. Fire Chief Ken Hare.
I'm here.
Thank you. Economic Development Main Street Director Kaylin Horn.
I'm here.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation Director Kenny Story.
I'm here.
Our Public Utilities Director Radford Thomas.
Here.
Planning Director Jenny Willock.
I'm here.
Thank you. And our Public Works Director Jared Wright.
I'm here.
Thank you. Is someone from the news topic with us this evening? Kara. Thank you. Kara's with us. Welcome, Kara. Okay. Did I leave anybody out? Thank you. Okay. We will move on then. As we normally do, we'll start with a moment of silence. We'll remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance. As we go to that time, please continue to keep all of our healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, our frontline workers, those that are dealing every day with this COVID pandemic that we've been going through, our vaccine clinic people and all they're doing to bring us up on where we want to be on this as soon as we can. Thank you for all that you're doing. We keep you in our thoughts and prayers. Of course, our teachers and all those in our school system, thank you for all you're doing on that, and all the leaders around the state and the country for what you're trying to do to put us through this. So thank you all. We'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers as we move forward. Anyone else that anybody know on that we need to keep in our thoughts and prayers before we go to that time? Okay, hearing no one, please rise and remain standing for our pledge. Thank you. We salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll get started tonight. We do not have matters scheduled for a public hearing this evening, so we'll move into our consent agenda items, which consist of minutes of our City Council meeting for Tuesday, February 16th, 2021. Item B would be an agreement. This is a grant contract number RTP 2021-9792. This is for a recreational trails program grant through the North Carolina Department of Cultural and Natural Resources. This agreement, as I stated, the number between the City of Lenoir and the North Carolina Department of Cultural and Natural Resources for the purpose of accepting grant funding in the amount of $250,000 for the city OVNHT Greenway Link project. And item C is a budget amendment. This is for Craftmaster Furniture. Approval of this amendment in the amount of $500,000 for the building reuse grant for Craftmaster Furniture in order to allow for the receipt and expenditure of these funds. That is our consent agenda items A through C. If anyone would like to discuss any of those, if not, I will entertain a motion concerning those.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda items A through C as presented.
I have a motion from Councilmember Stevens to accept the consent agenda items A, B, and C as presented. Is there any other questions or thoughts? If not, I'll call for the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And on Zoom?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. That carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on then. It's a time on our agenda for any requests and petitions of any citizens. If there's any citizens who would like to address us tonight, we would entertain that at this time. If you will, come to the podium and give us your name and address, if you will.
Wayne Douglas, I own the residential property at 308 Ridge Street.
Okay? Thank you, Mr. Douglas.
I have some more reading for all of you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us this evening. We will take this under consideration. Okay, is there anyone else who would like to address the council at this time? Either everyone else here is business with us tonight, and anybody on Zoom would have any statement for that. Okay, thank you. We'll move on then to reports of boards and commissions, and tonight we have Mr. Rick Oxford, the Plan Administrator for the Western Piedmont Council of Governments, here to hold his first of two public meetings to receive comments regarding the proposed FY 2021 action plan for the City of Lenoir and the Unifor Home Consortium as part of the 5-year consolidated plan. And this plan is required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, outlines goals and actions plans of the City of Lenoir and the Unifor Home Consortium and its use of community development block grants as Cdbg and home funds for the fiscal year of 2021, beginning July 1st of 2021 and ending June 30th, 2022. The City of Lenoir serves as the lead entity for the Unifor Consortium. Rick, welcome. Glad to have you with us tonight.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Good to see you wherever you are. The City of Lenoir has entitlement status by HUD and receives Cdbg funds for carrying out community development activities as described in the consolidated plan. The Unifor Consortium is comprised of 28 member local governments within and including Alexander, Burke, Caldwell, and Catawba counties. City of Lenoir, as the mayor said, serves as the lead entity for the Unifor Consortium. And the Unifor Consortium receives entitlement funds and has entitlement status from HUD. And will receive home funds for carrying out affordable housing activities as described by the consolidated plan. So each year we do an action plan. Last year we did the consolidated plan, and it's a 5-year plan, and then we do an action plan each subsequent year. So this will be the action plan for 2021. And I just received the allocation amounts that HUD will provide the city. That is, unless they change it. And they did change it last year. So it looks like the city will receive $161,762 in Cdbg funds. And the Unifor Consortium will receive $1,154,095 in home funds. So let me talk about CDBG first. We've been using our present CDBG allocation for work on the Greenway with Jared, and also with work on the Lenoir, old Lenoir High School with Kenny, and those projects are moving along. We anticipate that this year's money, we will continue on with our last project, which was the old Lenoir High School. We've still got work to do there. So that's where the CDBG money will more than likely be spent. We've also received CDBG CV money, which coronavirus funds, and the city has contracted with Yokefellow to spend those funds in providing water and sewer relief to City of Lenoir residents, and also for rent slash mortgage relief for City of Lenoir residents. Thus far, the city has spent $22,591 to help people with their water and sewer bills, water, sewer, and solid waste bills. And that's assisted 94 households, covering a total of 390 months, so we can pay for so many months that people are behind, and that's assisted 234 individuals. We've also spent $71,000 for assisting people that are behind on their rent and mortgage. And this has assisted 60 households, covering 182 months for shelter for 165 individuals. So that portion is moving along well. And we're not sure, but we're hopeful that the city will receive additional funding for that as well. But we haven't been notified of that yet. The home program covers 4 counties. And let me just give you a little highlight of what we've done since the program started, okay? So the program started in 1995. We brought all 28 local governments in the region together. We chose the City of Lenoir to be the lead entity, or they volunteered. I'm not sure what it was, but they've done we couldn't ask for a better partner in that. We've provided grants under the Home Investment Partnership Act through the U.S. Housing and Urban Development, HUD, and a total of $24 million, $24.6 million has been allocated, and more than $5.2 million in program income has been received. So we help people through loans, we help multifamily developers through loans, and then they pay us back some, and so then we recycle that money as well. So the purpose of the Unifor Consortium is to plan and carry out regional housing activities to benefit low to moderate income beneficiaries. In the past, down payment assistance for first-time homebuyers has been our #1 activity. And since the program's inception, we've helped approximately 3,000 first-time homebuyers throughout the region. The program has used $18.5 million in down payment assistance funds to leverage more than $250 million toward the purchase of homes. Another program that or another activity that the home program does is it provides funds to community housing development organizations, CHODOs. These are nonprofit organizations that do housing-related activities to benefit low to moderate income families. Examples would be Habitats or Blue Ridge Community Action or Family Care Center. Over the years, we've done a lot of different nonprofits or assisted a lot of different nonprofits. Since the program's inception, we've allocated over $5 million to 14 different organizations. We also assist multifamily housing developers, such as the one at the beginning of the Abington Road, Arbor Glen. Those developers seek low-income housing tax credit loans from the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency, and they will come to us and they'll ask for a letter of commitment, local commitment, that they show as part of their application, which makes their application more attractive to the Housing Finance Agency. So we're a little piece of the big financial package. It might be a $8 million, $9 million project, and we provide $300,000. So, so during the program's history, we provided assistance to 20 different multifamily housing projects located throughout the 4 counties. Approximately $5.3 million in home funds have been allocated, with more than $145 million in total investment. And this has led to the development of 1,225 housing units, including 380 senior units. It's hard to talk with this mask on. Run out of air. And so,
That was all one breath.
yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, you gotta breathe in between there.
Yeah, I'll be back with the second round of this, which will be a public hearing, and at that time I'll be having the numbers. Hopefully they'll be the correct numbers from HUD, and we'll have a budget for you.
Thank you. Any questions of anyone for Rick concerning the,
Mayor, this is Todd. I have a quick question.
okay?
The amount of funding proposed for 21, Rick, how does that compare to what was actually funded for fiscal year 2020?
We're up a little bit.
For CDBG funding?
For CDBG, it's $161,762. Now, I'm pretty sure it's like 149
Last
for
year.
last year. So it
Okay.
is up a little bit. And the home program is up a little bit.
That's good.
Yeah.
And Rick, I'm sorry I'm not there. It's the first time in 18 years I've missed your spring visit.
Dang, I hate that.
Rick, I have a question.
Yeah.
And you probably don't know the answer, but you may have some inklings. With this new COVID package coming down, of course, you've got some of those COVID relief funds coming. Is there any idea that maybe some of this money is going to trickle down again through this big relief package?
I'm hearing that we'll get another round of funding, like we've gotten 2.
Right.
And so,
For things like water bills and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That's where it is.
but nobody can promise
No.
anything.
Just curious.
That's sort of what I'm hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for Rick? Thank you, Rick. We appreciate you
Okay.
always being with us and
My pleasure.
bringing us up to date on all that. Tell them we'll take any more money if they'd like to.
Okay, all right.
Please open that up.
I'll let them know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Okay, see you.
All right, we'll move on then to time for the report and recommendations of our city manager, Mr. Hildebrand.
Mr. Mayor, Council, a couple items tonight for information purposes. The City County Service Committee will meet virtually on Monday, March 8th at noon. The Caldwell County EDC will meet virtually, I guess, Tuesday, March 9th at 8 a.m. Is that correct? Yes. And also, the ABC Board will meet virtually on Thursday, March 11th at 2 p.m. And the Lenoir Business Advisory Board will meet virtually on Thursday, March 11th at 6 p.m. Tonight, we have 2 items for a decision for council to consider. The first item tonight is a change order number 1 for the MeterSys AMI implementation project. This change order's amount of $292,489. Due to various circumstances, we had an underestimation of the number of meters in our system. Based on an accurate count now, we need to install additional 500 meters. And the cost of that, as I mentioned, is $292,489, and that falls within our contingency we had of $298,225. And if council would approve that, then Radford will purchase those meters and get those installed. And Mr. Thomas is on the phone tonight. He can answer any specific questions you may have toward the project. But we're probably, Radford, about 70% installed. Is that correct?
Mr. Thomas?
Scott?
Yes, that's correct. We're about 75% installed.
Bradford, that leads, if I may ask a question.
Yes.
So this change order, or it's a change order, pretty much eats up the contingency that we allowed in the initial proposal. Nobody's got a crystal ball, but my question is, do you think, with that eating up all the contingency, are you comfortable with that? Do we need to have any kind of a budget amendment to allow for even more contingency funding?
Yeah, that's a good question. I appreciate that. I don't think so. I feel like at this point, this should pretty well cover the things that we need to purchase through the agreement. I don't see that we need to, but as you said, we don't have a crystal ball. But I really don't anticipate having to come back and ask for any additional funds. I surely hope not, and we're gonna work on that. We've done a few things to cost saving measures too that should speed up the project, but also save us a little bit of money.
And I would note, this project was $4.4 million total cost.
Okay, any other questions of concerning this change order before we go to call for question here in a few minutes?
I have a question, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Related to the change order, but I've had several neighbors this week approach me about water bills that were apparently incorrect because they had received a water bill that was maybe 5 times larger than typical. When that happens, it's most likely an installation or computer problem of some kind. Should residents call the water department directly to discuss the issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that's what I told them, and I think citywide, there's always going to be some issue somewhere, so just thought I'd clarify that. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, you heard the recommendation for change order number 1 for MeterSys, approval of a change order, and this is change order number 1 in amount of $292,489 for the AMI implementation project for MeterSys. So I'll present that to you, call for council for recommendation.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion we approve change order number 1 as presented.
Thank you. I have a motion from Councilmember Beal to approve change order number 1 as presented in this amount. No other discussion or question? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And on the phone?
Aye. Aye.
Is that all?
Chrissy?
Is she gone?
She's doing this, so.
Okay, we got to vote for it. Okay, thank you. That carries unanimously. We appreciate that. So, all right, Mr. Hildebrand, we'll move on to your second resolution here.
The next item is authorizing resolution for Project Explode. The city's been working with Deborah Murray and the Economic Development Commission regarding a project called Project Explode. This would go back and assist the expansion of a manufacturing company in Lenoir. They would invest over $2.2 million in the purchase of a building and also renovations. and expect to add 50 full-time jobs over a 2-year period. The jobs would, average wage would be over $44,000, which exceeds our median average private sector wage.
I can't hear you.
A little bit louder.
Don't give me COVID. But again, this project, I can hear myself now, actually. I'm not ringing in my head. But again, this is a Project Explode. Would go back, a local company, manufacturing company would go back and invest $2.2 million in the purchase of a building and renovations, and expects to add 50 full-time jobs over a 2-year period with a wage of $44,000, which exceeds our median private sector wage. I would say this is a $500,000 request of NC Commerce, and Ms. Murray's here tonight if she wants to go back and add any additional comments for that. But hopefully you'll support this, and we'll get some funding and get more jobs in Lenoir and Caldwell County.
Sounds like a great thing. Deborah, welcome. Thank you. Glad you're with us tonight. I don't know, anything you'd like to add, or we won't put you on the spot. You're welcome to. Always, when you're here, we love to hear from you with anything that's going on.
Deborah, you can take this off, please.
Okay, good. Breathe.
So you don't faint.
So I don't run out of air, that's not possible. I had to be the one to say that. We're excited about this project, and it's part of a much larger project. This particular portion has been fast-tracking and growing as each week has passed. We're on, for the purposes of this grant, it will be a $10.2 million investment, and it will include the purchase of an additional building that will be renovated as part of the Building Reuse Grant Program. We expect that award to be made April 15th. If it is made, it's a competitive grant. This does, over a 2-year period, give us a pledge of 50 new jobs in our area. And like I said, it is part of a larger project, so there's much more to come.
When you say it's part of a larger project for our area?
It's part of the company's larger expansion project. We're just focused here on the building reuse portion.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next week, the county will hear the local jobs incentive public hearing, and there will be a little bit more information about the broader project at that time.
And that will meet the match we're required to have for the building reuse grant.
That's right. That's where the 5% match comes from, and the company is aware that we now require deed of trust for this, so we're all ready to go.
Good. Thank you very much. It's
Thank
always
you.
exciting to have new projects coming to us, and so we really appreciate your work on it. I know it's probably been a lot of things going on that you've had to do behind that, but thank you for that. So you've heard the authorizing resolution presented for Project Explode. I will now turn it over to council. First, are there any other questions? I ought to do that. If not, then I'll turn it to council for a recommendation, please.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend we approve the authorizing resolution as presented.
We have a motion from Councilmember Willis to approve the authorizing resolution for Project Explode as presented. And I will call for the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And on the phone?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. That carries unanimously. Thank you. Deborah, you are with us a few minutes. Is there any other things that you would like to talk about or bring up, or things going on? You're welcome to if you want to do that.
Nothing I can tell you today.
Okay. What that tells us is there's good things still coming out there.
That's right.
How many things can you
Okay.
tell us about?
Thank you for that. Thank you for being with us this evening on that. So thank you. Anything else, Mr. Hildebrand? Come.
That's all.
All right. Any reports and recommendations from our city attorney, Mr. Rohr?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do have a quick, just to let you know about a couple of appointments that will be, reappointments that will be coming up, and we will put these to you for your consideration. For our Board of Adjustments, we have 3 that have been serving on our Board of Adjustments. As you know, that is also planning board members that serve on that. For terms on that for reappointment, we'll be considering at our March 16th meeting, Mr. James Bradshaw, Mr. Mac Martin, and Mr. Tim Scobie. And I've been be in touch with them, have been in touch with them talking about their consideration of reappointment for this board. So we'll bring you that on March the 16th. Just want to bring that to you for your consideration at this time. All right, and that's all I have at this point in time out of the mayor's office. Anything from any of our council members to come before us tonight?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
real quickly, I'd like to say that in regards to the fire that we had last week at Whitnall, that we really should thank the other fire stations, fire departments in the county that backfilled our stations and came out as mutual aid to help on that fire. Also our police and our public works and our water department, because all those folks helped out make that situation, have a really good outcome. But that was one example of how this whole county comes together at the right times. And also all of our departments within the city are so critical when things like that happen. Without the water department being on the spot, the fire department would have a tough time. So I'd just like to say thank you, and I think I can speak for everybody. And Chief Hare, we appreciate you guys and appreciate how well you work with all the other departments.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Beal. We appreciate that as usual. They did a wonderful job. I've talked with Chief Hare about it and some others, and there's been some great comments from those who were involved with the buildings out there, thanking them for things that they did. I even understand they saved some appointment books for the people in the beauty salon that would certainly keep them at least knowing what their appointments are as they move forward. So we appreciate that, and all of y'all that were involved on that, we certainly appreciate it. Chief Hare, anything you would like to add while we have it?
Absolutely. Just want to reiterate what Councilman Bell said is huge thank you to our staff citywide. Our firefighters have done a wonderful job making sure that some of that building is still intact. Like I said, we had pretty much almost all the departments from the city, Public Works, Public Utilities, PD, Call County Sheriff's Department was there. We actually had Hudson Fire, North Kentucky Fire, and Gamble Fire come to the scene, and then Kings Creek and Valmead and some of those backfill our stations, because pretty much all our staff was tied up for about the next 7 hours. So a huge thank you to all involved. Actually got the Call County Emergency Management come and actually help suppress some fire. So it was all around good effort to the whole county, but especially our city staff. A huge thank you to all them and the support we get from the council and Mr. Hildebrand for letting us do our jobs and getting us the right equipment to do that with. Certainly do appreciate that from all our staff.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Appreciate all you do and all of our staff for how you work together. It's definitely part of what we preach every day in service beyond measure and working together to make things happen in the best way. So thank you for that. Any other department heads, do you have anything that you might want to bring up? Any announcements quickly before we adjourn here in the next 5 or 6 minutes? All right, I'm not hearing anybody, so we'll keep you posted on all the things that are going on. Thank you again for being with us tonight. And if nothing else to come before us, we stand adjourned.